So a little birdie told me we have a brand new ban list in Duel Links for the skills this time. And so I thought we'll go in blind, see what happens. Let's log in and see. We have, there we go. About Forbidden Limited list. Of course, this is the one that is now in effect, which means Neos Fusion is now at 3. Really cool. I'm excited to kind of try that out. Skill balancing. And of course, we have the scam that you can pay gems to upgrade your cast to Prismatic, which, you know, getting Prismatic scores would be pretty cool, but you can farm it already, so don't really recommend that. And there's, of course, going to be a sale as well, I think, down here for structure decks, which I guess is fine if you want to buy a thing. Oh my god, please. You know what would be really cool? Is if with a structure deck, with Dark Paladin, they buff the skill. Please, that would be so good. I don't actually know what I really want to happen with skill balancing, right? You can say Destiny Draw, right, but I use a ton of decks with it in, so I don't really mind it being as it is. It is the most generic skill in the game that literally hasn't been touched once. Well, it hasn't been touched in a real core way. It's still really, really good. So I think they'll keep it at that. You know, Yugi, he's the poster boy of Yu-Gi-Oh!, so you don't really want to be hitting that. Apart from that, I don't know what else they would do that can kind of nerf things, because I don't think anything really needs nerfing right now, skill-wise. I think we're kind of in a good spot for skills, and whether that says something about how good they are or not is another thing. But going into effect on the 16th, so in, yeah, just over a week away, which isn't bad at all. Obviously, no, we're now getting these skill balancing later than the ban list, right? The ban list dropped today, skill balancing dropped today, and then of course going to be in effect in just over a week's time. I think that's a better way of doing it, because then it's not so much of a wait between both things happening, right? It feels closer, even though it does say it's going to become mandatory on the 24th, so there's a bit of a wait as well. But when the app updates, you can then obviously get it early. So let's see what's changed. We have, oh, that's very, very small. Swing to action and Pendulum Summon, extra balloons, and Command of the Doom King. That's a very Arc 5 heavy update, but thank god actually, there's no Yuzu skill, no Melodious skill has been nerfed, right? I know some people were kind of wanting it to be nerfed. For some reason, they wanted Bloom Diva and that lot to be nerfed. I really don't see it. You know, we haven't got the Melodious lock, so I don't think it's anywhere near as bad as it could be, and clearly Konami thinks the exact same. So we have Swing into Pendulum Summoning. At the start of the duel, add pen zones to your extra field. Or to your field, sorry. Yo! That used to have like a 12 card limit on the actual Pendulum card in your deck, I think. That's crazy. So what? Crystal Beasts, I guess, can now use this skill, even though they want to use Transcendent Crystals with it, so they can't really, but at least the Pendulums now can be a bit more useful because you're not, you know, using that back row, and you actually have enough Pendulum monsters to fit in that deck. Okay. What else? What else can use this? Death Spots don't matter because they need more monster zones rather than Spell and Trap Card zones. Trying to think of what really this helps. Obviously, it's going to be, you know, more generic. Having the limit made no sense. I think that was kind of Konami going, we don't know how these will do, and they've not really done anything. Pendulum, apart from Abyss Actors, really, and Dynamists, those are the two main decks, and these don't really help out either of them because Abyss Actors, you're playing the standard Abyss Actor skill, and with Dynamist, you have enough cards to make sure this skill is always worthwhile anyway. But now maybe they can cut back on some things they don't really need to use, and they can buff up some of the Spell and Trap Card lineup. We'll have to wait and see. Then, extra balloons. Can be used once per turn. Select one wonder balloons without balloon counters on it and place one balloon counter on it. That's kind of the same. If you begin the duel with a deck that contains no monsters other than Perform Power, Magician Pendulums, or Autos monsters, place one face-up wonder balloons to Spell and Trap Card zone from outside your deck at the beginning of the duel. Okay, that's a little better, a little more fun, a little bit more cheesy. Doesn't really change much, right? Wonder Balloons, I think, is literally just like a -200, -300, right, for every counter on it. So, like, you still don't want to be, you know, this is the thing, right, is that the deck they're telling you to run it in is Pendulum. Literally, it's Pendulum, unless you're playing pure Perform Powers, but with those, you want to be Pendulum summoning them out to get the most value out of that deck. So it still kind of goes against the overall theme of Perform Powers and Odd Eyes and whatnot to give you this cheesy bonus, so it's not going to do anything competitively, but sure, I guess now people that didn't get the SR card from way back when in 2016, 2017, they can now play the skill. Then we have Command of the Doom King. At the start of the duel, add pen zones to your field, that's the exact same. The following effect can be used once per duel. Select one Doom King Armageddon from your hand and add it to your extra deck face up, then do the one on the field, and that is exactly the same as before. But you must contain 3 DDD pendulums. I think before it was like 5 or 7. It was something really big, and so you really could only use it with the structure deck, right? With those cards, rather than just some of the standard DDD cards. So that's really good. That's a really good change. I don't know how much is going to change that deck, because already I think if you're playing DDDs, you're playing it a certain way with the skill, and so maybe it means they're a little bit more consistent because they can run they're not forced to run so many of the big triple Ds they want to see, or they don't want to see. I guess. I don't think it inherently like makes that deck super good again, or a lot better. But I think it's fine, and that's it. That is literally it. For the skill ban list, probably one of the most uneventful ban lists. Skill rebalancing. Sorry, it's not really a ban list, but one of the most uneventful. At least it wasn't like some hits for the sake of being hit. It was just them going, you know what, we can make things a little bit more fun. And I think the biggest one, of course, is that pendulum skill being changed to be literally any card in the deck is completely fine. That is great. That is really good. So yeah, let me know down below what you think of the brand new skill ban list in Duel Links. I keep saying skill ban list. It's just easier than saying skill rebalancing, right? But yeah. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next Duel Links video. See you then.